cover it in this chapter. Okay, we have three permissions in Linux, which are read, write, and execute. Okay, so if we have a read permission on a file, so it means that we are allowed to read the content of the file. So if we have a permission on a directory, on a folder, so it means that we can see or we can ls the content of a directory. And if we have a write permission on a file, it means that we can modify, we can bring some changes on in that document, in that file. So if that is a directory and we are having a write permission on that, it means that we can add, remove, rename, or we can add, remove, rename the content of that folder. So if we have execute permission on a file, on that case, it means that we can execute or run it as an application. So in Windows, we have application, suppose excel.exe. If we double click on it, it will be executed and it will show us the setup that will you want to install it or not. So in Linux, if that file is an executable file or that file is a script, so we must have what permission? Execute permission to run that file to be started or to be installed. And if we have execute permission on a directory, it means that user can access the files and can cd to that or change directory. Suppose I have where am I? Brain working directory. I want to go to the desktop. Okay, in desktop, what do we have? I have a new D. This is a folder name. Let's minimize it. I want to go to this folder, WD, new D. Control L, CD, change directory to new D. It means that I have execute permission on this directory. So that's why I can cd there. See, now I am in new D folder. Okay. So we said that there are read, write, execute permission, and these permissions are applied on 3 sections. What are those sections? The first section is users. We can apply these 3 permissions on the user of this computer. For example, we have root, we can add another user. Currently, I'm the user in this computer as Kais. So Kais will have a root can assign these 3 permissions on user on Kais, and the other section, the second section, is group. Those users who are in a group, in a particular group. So on that group will have different or that group will also have permissions on permissions of what? Permissions of reading, writing, or executing. And the last section is, which is the third section. So the third section is others, those who are not in a group, and what kind of permissions they must have on a particular directory, on a file. So in total, we have how many RxW? We have 9 RxW. So 3 RxW read, write, execute on user, 3 on group equals 6, and 3 on others. So total 9. And also these permissions are having a number. So what is the number of read permission? read is equal 4. And what is the permission? What is the permission number of write? So write is 2. And what is the execute number? Execute is 1. So what is the total? The total is equal 7. So if we put a 0 or a minus, so it means that there is no permission. They are having no permission. Let's take an example. Open Sublime Text. Okay, let me clear it. I said that there are users. They are having what permission? Read, write, and execute. So what is the number for read? 4. What is the number for execute? The write 2, and execute number is 1. Total. The total is Upala. What is the total number of this one? It is 7. Okay. So next section we have group. Group. Okay. In group we have 3 permissions: read, write, execute. Okay. Read has what is the number of read? 4. Write 2. Execute 1. Total equals 7. And the third section, the last section, is others. Others mean those who are not in a group, and also they are not the owner of a file. R equal 4. The write equal 2. Execute equal 1. This is total 7. Okay. 7, 7, 7. So if we give a permission, if we say that if we type 7, 7, and 0, what does it mean? What is the first section? The first section is user or the owner of a file. Owner has how many permissions? Total permission, all permissions. Read, write, execute. So total equals 7. And what is the the second part? Second part belongs to the group. It means that group has also all the permissions: read, write, execute. But the last part is 0. It means that those who are not in this group and those who are not the owner of that file, so they are having no permission, equals 0. So if we type in here, if we have, we cannot click it there. If we yes, if we type 0, 7, then 4, then 1, what does it mean? It means that owner of a file or the user has all permissions, and the group, those who are in the group, they are having only read permission. They can only read the file. They cannot edit it. They cannot execute a file. And those who are in other, so they are able to execute a file, but they do not have a read. They cannot cat. They cannot see the content of the file, and they cannot bring. They cannot bring. They're not able to bring any changes on a file. If we type 2, then 5, then 4, what does it mean? It means that the user, the owner of the file, the owner has only what? Only modifying or writing permission. The owner can bring some changes, any changes on a file, and those who are in the group, and group can equal 5, 4 equal 1, 4 plus 1, 5. So group can read and they can also execute a file. And those who are others can only read. Okay, this is how permissions are working. There is also, we have covered it, first section, second section, and the third section, user, group, and others. Okay, what is this one? Okay, let's take an example. Let me minimize the Sublime text. Okay, let's see the permissions on our current folder, ls al current folder. I told you that dot means current folder. Okay, it says that do we have any file in here? Yes. Okay, ls al current folder. It says that the current folder is a directory, and the directory and the owner. Okay, let's go back now. ls al what new d. We will. Where is the new d? Yes. New d. See, it says that this is a directory, and the owner, which is Kais, he can read, write, and execute. Okay, and what is the second part? The user, the group. Which group? Kais group. Those who are in the group section, those who are in the Kais group, they can read. They cannot modify. See, W is not here. W is 0. So those who are in the group, they cannot modify a file, but they can execute it. Okay. And what is the third section? It means that others can read, no modification, and they can execute. Okay. Okay. And there is a file inside the newd folder by the name of file newd. This is a file. This indicates a file. If it is D, so it means that is a directory, and if it is minus, so minus means it is a file. The owner, the user, which is Kais, or Kais can read, modify, read, write, but no execute. And those who are in Kais group, they can only read, but no execute, no modification, write, and no execute. Those who are others, they can only read, no write, no execute. Okay. Okay, this was the explanation of this section. Okay, if it is a D, it means it's a directory. If it is a minus, it's a regular file. But you might you may see some, maybe might be, you might see some some file that has a S indicated in their name. So that means those are special files. And we have also covered that what is this section. This is for users, this is for group, and the last RxW for others. Okay, we have what else do we have? Okay, in Linux, let's see the permissions on this file. etc passwd. Passwd, although we will cover it in the coming slides in detail, passwd is a file which stores the information about the users. Let's see, clear cat etc passwd. See, these are all the information about the users. Kais is a user. This is the password section. Password will be stored in the another file which is called shadow. And previously, in the older version of Linux or Kali Linux, the password were storing, the hash of the password was storing in this file in passwd. But passwd is a file which everyone can access it, everyone can read it. So for the sake of security, they have shifted the password section on the hash of the passwords into shadow file. Sudo, let's see the shadow file. So shadow file is a file which only root can access that, which root can only read that. etc shadow. See, it asks for password. Cannot okay, shadow possibility. Locate shadow. Where is shadow? etc shadow. Let's see, is it shadow or I'm confusing with something else? Passwd. Yes, it is shadow, but why shadow is not there? etc shadow g, maybe g shadow, but it is here. It shows here. Copy, paste, again cat, permission denied. Let's cat it with sudo. Yeah, what was the mistake? Okay, see, I didn't get it. So we were about to explain the hash of the password. So see, where is Kais? Kais user Kais, and this is my password. This is, if there is, this is a 6, and it is within, if it is within 6, so that means that your password hashing is the algorithm behind your password is MD5. So it starts from here to up to where, up to here. Okay, so I said that on the previous version of Linux, the hash of the password was storing on the passwd. So passwd is a file which everyone can access that. That is a public file. Okay, ls bin bash. If we do this, we will see that who can ls al bin bash, who has access on this file. See that this is a file which relates to root. This is the owner, and this means that it is the group owner, root owner, root group. This is a file root having all permissions 7, and user the group can read and execute, others can read and execute. Okay. What does this permission mean? Chmod, let's see. And how we can assign permission, how we can change permission by the help of chmod. Okay, so what do we have written in here? The chmod command can be used to change the permission of files and directories in Linux. If we have a file 1, where is a file 1? Okay, we have file 2. ls, show me information about the file 2. Okay, see, it says that the owner is Kais. It is in the group, Kais group. File, it is a file. Read write permission, Kais can read write execute, but those who are in my group, no permission, can only read, and others can also read, but no other permission other than read. So now I want to I want to change the these permissions. Let me drink a sip of water. Okay, so what command will help us to change the permission, a file permission? That is chmod. Chmod change, and mod stands for modification, modify. I want to change the I want to assign all permissions to all three sections: owner, my group, ice group, and others. So they must have all permissions on this file. File 2 chmod 777. It means that 4 plus 2 plus 1, read, write, and execute. This is also read, write, execute 7. Read, write, execute 7. See, remember that in here we have read and read. And after executing this command, we will see that again. That's what's going on in there. See now, read, write, execute 7, 7, 7. If we now type it 770, ls it again. See, 7, 7, and 0. If we type 7, 7, 5, 5 means execute and read. Ls it again. Owner full permission 7, my group 4 plus 0, 4 plus 1, 5. Okay, and plus 0, 7, 5, 0. Okay, that's how we assign permission. We change permission. Okay, what else do we have? How can we change? How we can assign by the help of character, by the help of equal. Okay, let me tell you about the UGO. We will so in here, if we type U, so U indicates users, G stands for group, and O for others. So see, I have typed that chmod change modification or give assign permission to group, to user. User have full permission. Group must have read write permission, and other should have what? Only read permission. On which file? On file 1. Let's do it. Chmod user can read write execute. Group can only read and write but no execute, and other can only read. And on which file? On file 2. Again check it, ls. See, read write user, and a group can read write, which we have mentioned in here, read write, and the others, other or only read. So that's why we are having R. And yes, that's done. That's how we are assigning user assigning permission by the help of equal character and mentioning the U, G, and O. Okay, we can also do like this. Only we want to assign for one thing. For we say we want to change the permissions on others. We are very generous person. We will assign full permission on group. Read, write, execute. On which file? On file 2. ls again. See, owner read write full permission. Others group only read write no permission, and others read write execute full permission. If we revoke, if we get the permission back from all permission from the group, so how do we do that? Chmod g equal 000. Okay, their read permission must be 0. They would not be able to read it. Write permission 0, no modification, and execute permission will be also 0. They will not be able to execute the file on file 1, on file 2. ls it again. See, owner full permission, 0 group, and others full permission. Let's get back the permission from others also. ls again. See, so I want this file that nobody has any kind of permission on that. So the easiest way is to write in here you also, or if you want to give the permission at once, so we want no permission on none of these sections. None of these sections means others, groups, and group and user owner. ls see. Okay, these are all covered. What about minus? We can also assign by the help of plus or minus. Okay, how do we do that? The first one was like this. We were assigning by the help of equal, but now we want to give permission like this: u plus w. What does it mean? chmod, we want the user to have at least one permission. That permission should be read on what file? File 2. ls it again. See, you're having one permission, and that is read permission. Let's assign another permission for group. Group can also read it. Let's it again. See, read permission for what? For others also. You're getting very generous. Okay, and let's assign for one more permission for what? For user, for owner. They can execute it. Rx, yes. See, for within user plus x. Yes. Read and x. Okay, and if we get it back from him, then just type minus. The previous one was plus to give permission, but we are now getting back the permission by the help of x. See, the permission has been before. Okay, now we want to assign recursively. Recursively means those files and directories inside a folder must have all permissions that we will be assigning recursively. Okay, see, let's see, what do you have in files folder? Change directory to files. We have nothing in here. Touch file. Touch is a command that creates folder, creates a file. Okay, now let's see. We have 3 files, and let's go back. No, let's see the permissions from here. lsal, my current directory. It says that, see the permissions. We have 3 files, and the files are having these permissions. Owner can read and modify, but no execute. Owner, same permissions. These are all the same permissions. So we want to assign recursively. Assign permission recursively. Let's go back now. Okay, chmod recursively minus -r hyphen capital R, and what we want to assign? We want to assign the execute permission, but we have, yes, we do not have execute permission. See, You want to assign execute permissions for all the folders and files inside the folder directory files, plus X on files. Now ls it from here. We can also ls or go inside that folder. What do you want to see? I want to see the permissions on files directory. L. Okay. See, now everybody has the execute permission. In here, if we compare it with the previous version, the user had no execute permission, the group no permission, the other also no permission, and continuously to these three files. But after assigning recursively permission of executing, we are having now the result of recursive in here, that everybody has the execute permission. Okay, this is how we are using R. If we get it back, okay. Permission denied. Okay, now we will run it as a sudo. ls it back. Okay, sudo. See, the execute permission has been revoked from everyone. Okay. File ownership. Okay. Now see the owner of this directory, the files directory is files. So the administrator comes and he wants to change the permission, change the ownership of this file to another one, to another user. So there is a good command which is called chown or chown. I'd like to call it chown. Chown sounds a little weird to me. Chown. Okay. Let's see which user should we assign it. So users are stored where? etc passwd. I want to assign it to Kali007 or no. Let's assign it to Ankit. Chown. Ankit and okay. Which folder? Files folder. SS. Okay, we need to run it as sudo. Okay, let's now ls it again. See, directory has been changed to now the owner of this directory is Ankit, but the files are still belongs to Ice. Okay, let's use recursively here, whether it works or not. Although I haven't used it before, but let's try it recursively. Okay, yes. Oh, good. So it's working. See? Okay. This is how you're changing the ownership of a file or a folder or subfolders. Group permissions. Okay. This is for current session. This is enough. So we will continue this user group permissions. These slides in the session of from 6 to 7:30, and along with all these students, along with other students. Okay, guys, how was it? Did you learn something new? Do you have any doubt? Do you have any question?